Do y'all know that in one fell swoop, I had this conversation with y'all yesterday, and then people were DMing me and emailing me asking me to elaborate on what's going on. I'm about to blow y'all mind. I'm about to blow y'all mind right now. And I'm not sure what y'all algorithm is showing y'all, but the people are sending me this stuff inside of my email, and I think that it's absolutely incredible, the amount of insight and information that so many people miss that's right there at their fingertips, but their algorithm is showing them the worst things for them in order to keep them distracted. If you go on YouTube, and first thing you want to do is you want to go through all of your subscriptions, everybody that you subscribe to, and you want to unsubscribe to the things that's not relevant to you anymore because you've grown, right? And that's going to affect your algorithm. The second thing that you want to do is you want to clear your search history, you want to clear your watch history, and then you want to make sure that you start to click on and be interested in the things that's valuable to you, all right? But I'm going to add the context first. So I want to have this conversation and I want to show you a quick video. And then I'm going to bring you back around to the front of the congregation in order to help you to understand what's really going on. I have a theory about this whole migrant crisis, and I'm going to share it with you today. Shout out to all of my people on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's really get into it.
This morning, border towns across America being pushed to the limit again. Tens of thousands of migrants crossing illegally, part of a surge that started earlier this week. Scenes like this, lines of migrants, mostly from Venezuela, crossing through barbed wire and across the Rio Grande.
They don't even care nothing about no barbed wire, fam. They're like, what is this? Oh, this is a small obstacle. We deal with this every day inside of our own hometown. Check it out. Watch this, y'all. This is absolutely going to be mind-blowing for y'all, for a lot of y'all.
Forcing Eagle Pass, Texas, to declare a state of emergency.
You heard they were allowing mothers with children.
Migrants we spoke to say this surge was fueled by rumors that the border was open. This mother tells me she crossed the Rio Grande with her 7- and 2-year-old daughters, carrying them on her shoulders. But they're the lucky ones. A 3-year-old child swept away in a similar crossing on Wednesday and drowning. And just yesterday, Texas officials pulling another body from the river.
So these people think it's so meaningful. Listen, this very country, these cities, this environment that we despise of so much, and we say, man, can't believe what's happening over here, systematic oppression, racism, we don't really like the police. These people are dying to get over here because they understand that the opportunities over here is substantial compared to where it is that they come from. They appreciate the opportunity. They're going to come over here. They're going to work. They're going to take care of business. They're going to be on top of things. It's going to be some criminals over here. There's going to be some people that take advantage of the opportunity. It's some people that was criminals back where they were from, and then they was over there doing egregious stuff, but they're going to make sure that they don't do it over here because they understand the opportunities and the second chances that they get. So these are the people. They're willing to cross the water. They're willing to go through the Amazon jungle. They're willing to go through alligator-infested waters, and then currents are sweeping them, and they got their 7-year-old and their 2-year-old with no daddy, they baby mamas, somebody skeeted in them and had children with them and all of this stuff, and they're willing to put them on their shoulders, and then kids is flying away, and they pulling bodies out of the river, and they're willing to go through life or death situations in order to cross over into America because there were rumors that Chicago and New York and all of these asylum seekers, they're labeled as asylum seekers, but there really is illegal immigration. But all of these people are willing to come over here just because of a rumor. They're willing to take a trek all the way over here through the Mexico border, jumping on a train. All their friends is with them and their family, and they willing to leave behind everything that they ever knew in order to change the culture over here in America. Now, why would Anton say change the culture over here in America? Well, you're going to find out today.
We know this problem had slowly been growing, but why is it so bad this week?
The facts are that the cartels control who goes where and when, and they determined that this week was the week it's going to happen.
The Biden administration now says...
So you're telling me that the cartels are paying attention and they're playing the political game to decide who's going to come over and who not going to come over. You telling me all of these people that's not being vetted is coming over here into America, and the cartels is having a hand in who's going to get over here and who's not. So listen, The cartels control everything as far as transportation and logistics coming back and forth across this border, especially down there in Mexico. And so now they're letting so many different people come in here, unvetted, probably some that's actually asylum seekers, others that's who knows God, what, where they came from, who, what, when, where, why, and how. We can't really give a hypothesis to it, but the cartels are literally controlling who gets here and who doesn't. Very interesting. Let's continue.
Sending 800 military personnel to the border to help process the arrivals.
It is a crisis. It's something that is out of control.
So Biden sent 800 military personnel. 800 military personnel. Remember when y'all said we want the federal government to come over here and stop the border flooding in here? He sent 800 military personnel, not to stop them from getting in here, but to help process them being here. Shout out to y'all. I'm definitely going to be reading those super chats shortly. I appreciate y'all. Listen to what he said. Let me rewind it for you just in case you missed it.
Something that
the Biden administration now sending 800 military personnel to the border to help process the arrivals.
He's helping to process the arrivals. They're not stopping the flood. They're not stopping the flow. They're not having conversations with Mexico. They're processing the people that are coming in here. Take a moment and hear what's being communicated to you. We're not securing the borders. We're adding administration to the borders in order to ensure that the people get processed effectively. Does this disturb you? Are you scared yet? Are you troubled by what it is that you're hearing communicated to you right now? 800 military personnel. Did y'all know that the Congress and the Biden administration is over here wrangling about a government shutdown and that they're having budget discussions to where you're literally within a month, in less than a month, your government is possibly going to shut down because they can never even come to a conclusion and solve for the budget crisis that we're dealing with here in the United States of America. Yet we send in 800 military personnel down to the border to help process people getting in here faster and more effectively. Let's continue.
it is a crisis. It's something that is out of control.
In Eagle Pass, a town of less than 30,000, they had 2,500 illegal crossings in a single day.
So what do you need here?
Everything. We need kids' clothing, women's clothing, shampoo, hygiene items.
Valeria Wheeler runs the only shelter in Eagle Pass, and it just opened this week. With little room and few resources, most of the migrants she's helping stay for a few hours before heading to big cities like New York and Chicago, which now are also overwhelmed.
It's literally a process. You come, make the trek. The cartels control who gets in here according to what's being communicated on this video. Then after that, shout out to my girl Street in the building. Say you encourage me in so many ways. I'm making 40K more annual. Hold on. I gotta read this. Hold on. Let me just make sure that I acknowledge these super chats. And these Venmos and these Cash Apps. Says, you encourage me in so many ways. I'm making 40,000 more annually. 40,000 more annually. I cannot put her name, but I will just go ahead and put it like this. I'm making 40 bands more annually. Annually. 40 bands more annually. Oh, hold on, my bad. I'm sorry. Let me flip that over for a second. I appreciate it. Listen, this is why I don't ask for super chats. This is why I don't ask for Cash Apps. Because the people understand the value that you give to them. I ain't got to ask for nothing. They support the platform. They support the show. Let me get back to my regularly scheduled program. I appreciate you, love. Thank you for looking out for your boy.
We're a very small town. There's a lot of resources that are needed, not only for us, for the community, for the city, for the county. And this is a very, very impoverished county.
Now, largely because of the scenes of what we saw in New York City with those shelters overcrowded and Democratic leaders going from calling New York City a sanctuary city to now saying, please do not come, the Biden administration has granted nearly 500,000 Venezuelans temporary protected status, essentially letting them work legally so they can help themselves and support themselves. Some are saying this is going to help the situation in New York, but many others are saying this is going to only entice others to keep on coming.
Now, you hearing what he's saying? He said literally the Biden administration in one fell swoop has already granted the ability for them to be permanent, right? For them to be residents and for them to be able to work and take over the jobs here in America. Again, I have a theory, but before I get into that theory, I want to share with you one more clip and one more video of what's currently happening in Chicago. So this is now Chicago, okay? Let me show you what's being communicated in Chicago. You got to see this.
Well, from the mayor to the governor, officials across the state are praising President Joe Biden for the decision to grant temporary protective status to newly arrived Venezuelan migrants. The move will give them a fast track to work legally. While the news was welcomed by many, immigration advocates say there's still more work left to do. CBS 2's Andrew Ramos has more on the local reaction.
After months of sounding the alarm over the ongoing migrant crisis that has overwhelmed city agencies, some temporary relief now in sight. The Biden administration announced that it will grant nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants temporary protective status, which will allow them to live and work in the U.S. legally for up to 18 months. Those eligible would have to have arrived before July 31st. Cities like Chicago have long pleaded for federal help as the flow of migrants being sent from the border have inundated local resources. With Venezuelans accounting for more than a third of the 14,000 migrants currently in Chicago, the expectation is this announcement will lessen the pressure on the city, allowing these migrants to be less dependent, applying for temporary work permits, bypassing the 180-day waiting period. While advocates thank the president, they say this is an opportunity to do more.
Listen to what's being communicated. Wow, Venezuelan migrants and advocates are thanking the Biden administration for doing this. They're now saying, hey, listen, we know what you did last summer. Remember that movie? We know what you did last summer, but this is an opportunity for you to do more. You got to hear this. You got to see what's happening right now. They didn't just come over here with size 12 boots, stomping and stepping on your back. Now they've already Americanized themselves and adopted and adapted to Western culture and what you now see happening today. And they're saying, listen, we appreciate you for doing it, but this is an opportunity for you to do more. Listen to what's about to be communicated.
It is time. We deserve work permits too.
We deserve work permits too. I've never heard such an abomination before in my life. What do you deserve? Wait. We deserve. They're protesting. They're protesting in Chicago and New York, and they're saying, listen, thank you for granting us the ability to be able to work, and we came over here with size 12 shoes, and now we deserve to be granted work permits, and we want more. We want more. They're advocating for and protesting inside of your cities, and they just got here, and they talking about what they deserve from you, the taxpayers, and from your administration and your government. Listen to what's happening right now.
We have families too.
Immigrant leaders from the Resurrection Project and a number of elected officials are calling on the Biden administration to now level the playing field and grant parole and permanent work authorization for all immigrants, including the more than 11 million undocumented.
He can do this with a stroke of a pen. We've seen it.
Today is the beginning of our fight for every single one of those 11 million people.
Doth my ears deceive me and my eyes beguile me? Doth my ears deceive me and my eyes beguile me? Listen to what is being communicated. Y'all not hearing it. Y'all not getting it. Let me rewind it for you so that you really pay attention to what the hell is happening right now. It's happening right before your eyes. You're voting for your own demise. Listen to what's being communicated.
To do more.
It is time. We deserve work permits too. We have families too.
Immigrant leaders from the Resurrection Project and a number of elected officials are calling on the Biden administration to now level the playing field and grant parole and permanent work authorization for all immigrants, including the more than 11 million undocumented.
He can do this with a stroke of a pen. We've seen it.
Today is the beginning of our fight for every single one of those 11 million people.
What more do you want? All I can do is present you the evidence. You got to come to your own personal conclusion. What more do you want to hear? What more do you want to hear? They're protesting for your president to do more. We deserve it. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Here, I'll play a little bit more for you just so you can get it. I want you to catch the whole thing, not just half of it. I want you to catch the whole thing.
We know if we bring it to his attention, he will hear us.
Former Congressman Luis Gutierrez is taking it a step further, calling for a day of action on November 14th, where he will be part of a coalition of thousands gathering in D.C., asking the president to issue permanent work permits for millions of immigrants who remain exposed to forced removal.
They've been here 35, 40 years. We didn't do anything about it. It's not their fault anymore.
It's too early to tell what immediate impact, if any, the new TPS designation for Venezuelans will have for the city, as many of them still have to sign up and then wait to be approved.
What did you think was going to happen? What you thought that they was going to come over here and they was going to be subservient to you? You thought that they was going to look at themselves as a lower class? You thought that they was going to bow down? You thought that they was going to be comfortable with the situation that you presented? You thought that your tax dollars wasn't going to be the thing that they then used as the very weapon against you based off of how you voted and who it is that you brought into office? What did you think was going to happen? Oh, wait. I know what you thought. You thought that all of that protesting for reparations, you thought that all of those jobs that y'all left and all of that stuff that y'all said that y'all didn't want to do, and we see all of this protesting over there at the UAW, you thought that they gave a flying fuck about what you thought and that they was going to sit here and work on your behalf. And that Obama was going to come into office and he was going to do a whole lot for black people, right? And Biden was going to come into office and forgive your student loans. And with the stroke of a pen, and with the help of our military, over 800 members now deployed over into the border, are now helping to progress migrants coming into the country. And basically what I see is displacement for now creating a new voter bloc. Now creating a new power that will allow for existing legislators and business people to continue to level up and become even richer and displace the middle class even more. Oh, you thought you was special. This is my theory. I can't prove any of this. None of it can be proven unless we get some kind of legislator on a hot mic saying it. This is all based off of what I believe is happening. They're hijacking what you thought was meaningful to them because you got out there with a sign and a poster and protested. They don't care nothing about you. This is displacement at its finest. This is now creating a new superpower and making sure that they maintain power by creating an entirely different voter bloc and making sure that they make sure that the gap is widened between the haves and the have-nots. When I told you, I told your monkey ass, This is Friday. We're going to get a little bit deep in here. I told your monkey ass. I told your ass to make sure that you divest yourself against the people that's not adding value into your life. I told you to start paying attention and start making sure that you leverage the opportunities that you have in order to get richer. I told you to start making adjustments and start doing the thing that's in your best interest. I told you to pay attention to what they was telling you. I told you to come over here and subscribe over into the Patreon and make sure that you tap in to the Millionaire Morning Show on a regular basis. No, you wanted to lean into the thing. Listen, shout out to Umar Johnson. We don't even have to worry about you building a school for black people by black people. I don't care if you open up your school tomorrow. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's already happening. It's already in place. It's already taking place right before your very eyes, right up under your chinny chin chin. Congratulations. You played yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself. Congratulations to all of my liberals that voted this way to make sure that you got your student loans forgiven. You played yourself. Congratulations to all of the people that jumped on a coaching call with me and said, hey man, listen, I'm pretty sure that Biden is going to forgive student loans. Look at this new news article that came out. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that thought that they was going to hold on and that stimulus money was going to carry them over, but it was really just the trickle effect of what inflation was going to come in order to continue to displace you. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that thought that credit was meaningful and that was a thing that they had to look at in order to substantiate whether or not somebody was getting money. Didn't know that you was really becoming even more of a gamified person, or gamification was being used in order to keep you in debt and keep you displaced. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that thought that they was running up a bag, but they was really just listening to rappers, and they didn't even really understand how money worked, and now inflation is kicking their ass. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that ran over from Atlanta over to Houston and thought that they was going to make an adjustment and it was going to be more opportunity there. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that's protesting and everybody that's walking on those picket lines thinking that they're going to get some concessions over from the leadership over at the big three and the auto companies when Elon Musk was the one that architected this whole thing. You played yourself. Don't worry, I'm going to break that down Monday. I'm going to show you how Elon Musk masterminded the UAW to work literally on his behalf in order to make sure he got even richer. I've been putting together a super show that I'm going to probably do on Monday or Tuesday that makes sure that I help y'all to understand how y'all really getting finessed.